What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Edison Club. I'm your host, Mike, and it's been a little while. It's been a couple weeks since I've uploaded a video, and I assure you that is for no reason other than the fact that I have been very busy grinding for YCS Orlando. If you've been a follower of the channel for some time, you'll know that my biggest goal is to win an Ultimate Time Wizard with a Lightsworn deck. So one of my last videos I made, you'll see that my New Year's resolution was to actually learn Fish OTK as well as Assault mode going into 2025 and just kind of get away from Lightsworn play decks that are a little bit different, stuff I've never really dabbled in much before. And I actually made that video before we had planned on going to YCS Orlando. This is like actually a very, very last minute thing. Normally whenever we go on trips, I kind of have it planned out a few months in advance. This was just a few weeks in advance that we just decided to go to Orlando, something that we had planned previously didn't end up working out, so I was like, let's go to Orlando. So I go and I get Lightsworn back out of the binder, put it back together, start testing it. I've been on Dueling Book every single day, probably the most I've ever played on Dueling Book, and historically I'm not the type of player that really enjoys playing on Dueling Book. I really enjoy the face-to-face interaction of IRL gameplay. But as we all get older, it's harder to kind of coordinate and get people together and actually play in person. So Dueling Book has been a good outlet for that, and that view replay button really does come in handy. So if you're trying to grind and get better, Dueling Book is probably the best way to do it just because of the replay button. So that's where I've been. I will be at YCS Orlando here in just a couple weeks, so if you see me there, please come up and say hello. I really love talking to people about the channel. I love to see that people are enjoying it and just like what I make. So cool. Now that we've gotten all that out of the way, let's address the elephant in the room. So Tyler from TCGRewind uploaded this video here a couple weeks ago titled Why You Shouldn't Play Edison, Why You Should Play Tengu, something like that. And the first thing I want to say is that I think that Tyler is a Just kidding. I have no ill will in the world at Tyler whatsoever. I've actually tried to coordinate with Tyler several times to get him on the Edison Club podcast. Usually it just comes down to scheduling conflicts. He's free on days I'm busy on days that he's free. My friend Justin Morgan has kind of been the middleman in discussing when we can get him on the channel and kind of just have a friendly like roundtable discussion about Tengu format, Edison format, and just talk about like the future of Time Wizard formats in general. I think that's something that the community kind of needs to actually understand, is that it's not just Edison format, at least in Konami's eyes, it is Time Wizard formats. And there are a lot of Time Wizard formats that actually don't really get the type of love that Edison format does. And we're kind of going to deep dive into that and talk about why we feel as if that is, and just talk about some Yu-Gi-Oh! I have been a follower of Tyler for quite some time, and I do enjoy watching his Tengu format content. It's very, very cool. It's very, very informative, just looking at different format and really seeing someone that's so passionate about this format, really trying to get people to play. The only thing that I'll mention today in this video as to why Edison is probably more popular than all the other Time Wizard formats, especially when you look at it from a view from Konami. So Konami is nothing more than a business at the end of the day. They do what's best for themselves, just like everything else in corporate America. They don't do what's best for their consumers. They don't do what's best for anyone other than themselves, other than their own business, right? So if you've ever been to any kind of YCS or Nationals or anything like that, you know that they fire off Time Wizard pods. So this is going to be like an 8-man Goat flight, an 8-man Tengu flight, an 8-man Edison flight, so forth and so forth for all those formats. And historically, Edison has fired off in the higher numbers. Like I've been at events before and heard people calling out for like Edison pod 76, and then meanwhile Goat's on like 13. So I feel like Konami probably uses that as a way to gauge how they want to support the retro community. Do they want to keep doing Edison? Do they want to move on and do Tengu? And as far as I can tell, as long as Edison is working for them, I don't really see them moving away from it anytime soon. Now, I would love to see Goat format and Tengu format eventually get their own Ultimate Time Wizards, but I do think they're going to have to get the numbers up for those pods just to show Konami, hey, we're interested, we want to be playing this. Or the other thing could happen, that Edison pods just slowly start to dwindle in numbers down to, 20, 25, and Tengu is like neck and neck right there, maybe passing a little bit, or same with Goat format, and maybe they say, okay, let's try Ultimate Time Wizard Tengu and see what kind of interest that we have, because the pods have been firing more, larger numbers, the Edison pods haven't been doing quite as well, and let's just see what happens. So that very well could happen. I hope that it does. I would love to see other formats get an Ultimate Time Wizard. So that's just a little snippet. Let that be a little bit of a trailer for the episode with Tyler. We're going to try to film that this week if we can coordinate our schedules. If we can't get to it this week, it probably will be after YCS Orlando. Like I said, we're all pretty busy. We're really trying to play, especially me. I really, really, really want to win YCS Orlando. It's actually very important to me. So I'm really going to do my best for you guys. So that's all for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you're still here, make sure you head on over to TCGRewind's channel and subscribe to him as well. And follow the links I have posted in the description to the other Edison format content creators. Show them some love, guys. Thank you all for watching. This is Mike from the Edison Club, signing out until the next one.
Hamster Ryko Caius, Hamster Ryko Caius. I go check the pairings, I'm like, don't know who this guy is. Hamster Ryko Caius, Hamster Ryko Caius. 2-0 every round, man, and I ain't even trying. It's just Hamster Ryko Caius, Hamster Ryko Caius.